Tracy.bish here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from Central Victoria, Australia. Welcome to Tracy's Sunday Challenge. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend and you're ready to do a little bit of quick crafting. Actually, I think today's card's going to be not really so quick, so hopefully you've got a bit of time to sit with me and chat as we create a card. So if you're new here, every Sunday I go live at 8:30 where we do a challenge. For this week's challenge, we have a case the catalogue, and you can choose whatever catalogue you like. I've actually gone with the celebration because we are only in a second month, so this is our last month to get these bargains. So celebration is where you can earn free product with qualifying orders. So whether it's a $90 order or $180 order, there are items or products inside the catalogue. Stamp sets, DSP, dies, all sorts of wonderful products that you can earn as free gifts. Good morning, Rachel. How are you? Hi, Glenda. Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for taking the time to come and join me. So casing the catalogue, I always love casing the catalogue. Whether you take the whole card and do the whole card, or whether you take elements or colours or just a design, so a layout. There's so many different ways that you can case the catalogue. I will say the card that we're casing today is a straight case, and it's actually the reason that I chose this celebration set, because this card is so amazing. So how is everyone going this morning? Are you doing anything exciting for the rest of the weekend, or have you been doing something really exciting? I'd like to catch up with you all as well. Oh, good morning, Jeanette. How are you? Okay, so let me show you the card that we're casing today. It's on page 13, and I do love the Hippos Tippos bundle. Let's find page 13. Here we go. It is using the Tree Lot dies, which are an amazing set of dies. They actually coordinate with a stamp set in the mini catalogue, so really great that it does that. It's the Trees for Sale stamp set. But the card that we're casing today is this one here, and this is the card that sold this die set. Isn't it gorgeous? We all like the old caravans, I think, so this is the card that we're going to be casing. Let me show you the card. Here it is here. Isn't this amazing? I love this card. Good morning, Marion. How are you? It's that chilly this morning that I actually slept in. I'm still in my pajamas, so I didn't even have time to have a shower this morning. I'll have a shower once I'm finished, but luckily I don't show my face live. But isn't this gorgeous? I just love this one. So much beautiful texture in the back with our ink blending and lots of die cutting. Now I will say I have pre-done a little bit of die cutting just because for time. Otherwise you guys would be here forever. So I have done some quick die cutting with all those pieces, but we'll pop them together. Marion's still in bed. Well, that is smart. Okay, so let me show you that stamp set that coordinates with it from the mini catalogue, Trees for Sale. It's a 17-piece photopolymer stamp set. And these are the dies, the Tree Lot dies that you can get with a $180 order here in Australia. And I highly recommend these. Not only do they have really great Christmas trees, but you've got a lot of elements that will go with that stamp set. So the dog, the sign, the pole, and the lights. But you've got the caravan as well, which is super cute. So I really like this one. I know I'll be using this one even once celebration finishes, because you know what, I really think I'd love to have seen this one out in the mini catalogue. But anyway, I'll still be using it. Alright, so for our kit, I have a piece of thick basic white card base. I have a piece for our snowdrift, And you can find all the measurements on my blog, so don't stress if you would like the measurements on it, but it's pretty simple. A lot of scraps, white card base, the thick basic white. We've got a snowdrift of 5 7/8 by 2 inches that we're going to just hand cut down. And then I've got a scrap piece that we're going to do our stamping and die cutting for our lights and poles. Okay, so the start we're going to do is, I'm going to do this gorgeous nighttime background, and for that we're going to use ink blending brushes. I've teamed up 2 colours, so I've got the Night of Navy and Starry Sky. I love Starry Sky, it's one of my favourite ink colours, but we need the darkness of the Night of Navy as well, and you know, the Starry Sky just gives us that it gives us that lighter colour in the background. So we're going to start off with the Starry Sky. And I'm using the same ink blending brush. The other great thing is these ink blending brushes you can run underwater. Because our inks are water-based, these come straight out. So you don't need 101 of these brushes. You can get away with just a few. So I'm actually doing the ink blending straight onto my card base. You could do another separate piece of basic white thick or basic white if you would like, and not use your card base. I think it works well with the card base, so I'm not too worried. So we want our lighter colour down here, but I'm going to start on the edges. As you can see, I've got heaps and heaps of ink on my blending brush, which is the way you want to do it. I did start off the cardstock, which is highly recommended, so you don't end up with a whole heap of streaks and swirls. And if you've used, you know, sponge daubers and sponges, you'll know that that's what happens. I have a really heavy hand, so sometimes I still get those swirls just because I'm too heavy with my hand, but it'll be fine. So you want to go down a fair way. You want to make sure that everything's covered, because we're doing our snowbank and it's a freehand sort of draw. You want to make sure that it's all covered. Okay, so I'm just going to go around the edges again. We want our edges to be really quite dark, but the Night of Navy is going to do that really well. So ink blending takes a little bit of time. You want to take your time and make sure that you're doing it really well. Okay, I think that should do with our Starry Sky. Let's bring our Night of Navy and make it really dark around the edges. I don't need to take any of that ink out because we're going with our darker colour. Always, if you're using the same sponge dauber sponge or ink blender, start with your lighter colour. And you really want to focus on the edges to be really quite dark. There we go. It's almost like a spooky night scene, isn't it? Can't wait to start creating my Halloween cards and projects. Lots of ink blending with those. So you also want to add a little bit of the Night of Navy down where the Starry Sky is. You don't want it to be too bright, but you want to have a look like as though, see in this one, it's almost like there's light shining out the back there. That's how I like it anyway. So blending some of that colour down of the Night of Navy into the Starry Sky. And I just want to focus this corner and this corner to be quite dark. As you can see, they're both quite dark. And I think that's good. Once we start adding the trees in the background and that'll look really good. Now to get that little starry sky look, what we're doing is we're going to add some water. So I'm just going to bring in, I've got just a water painter here. I'm going to add a little bit in my hand, and then, oh, that's a big bit. Little bits of flickers. And that big one is huge. Can you see that? Oh. It's probably a little bit bigger than I would like, but it's fine. The other thing you can do is you can add a little bit of water onto your acrylic block, which will give you a little bit less of these big ones, and then flick. So that gets you a little smaller ones. So a couple of ideas there. And all you're doing is a clean tissue over the top, and you're just lifting up that water. And there is your night sky. The other thing you can do, and I'm just going to get rid of this top layer, you can grab your craft ink, so this one here. I'm actually just going to put a little bit on an acrylic block, add a little bit of water. And this doesn't show up a great deal. But it will add a little bit more texture. So you're just picking up that water and the craft white. It's almost like a paint. And that gives you a little bit more of the night sky look. But I do want to get rid of this out of my water painter. Don't want that to set and go hard. I'm just going to clean off my block as well. All right, let me bring that up and show you just a little bit closer, which is a really cute night sky. And that water doesn't affect it because we haven't put too much on there, so using it as your card base, it's fine. Okay. Alrighty. Now we can move on. I'm going to actually do my stamping of the poles and the lights, and for that I believe I've got Early Espresso down on, thanks Tom.
Morning crafty ladies.
My husband's just bringing my cuppa, so lovely. I think I used Early Espresso in my blog post, but I think it's soft suede, so you could use either. In this stamp set there is a pole as well as that light. So I'm going to grab those ones out really quickly. And I did think about stamping these and die cutting these out early, but I wouldn't have really been doing anything except for assembling cards, so I thought it would be better to wait and do it together. I'm actually going to put them on the same block. So we need 3 poles. And these poles we're actually going to cut down. They're not the full length. And then 2 of our light fixtures. Perfect. Now to colour the lights in, you could either use Daffodil Delight blends or the right one, or our Stampin' Right markers, so whichever you have in your stash. I'm trying not to really touch that soft suede ink. Just doing it really lightly. Perfect. And then we can die cut these pieces out as well. Oh, Marion, you need one as well? I'll send him over. Except I think he went back to bed. We've got the heater on, but yeah. It's one of those mornings. Very dull looking outside. So this one fits in perfectly in our little mini machine. Hardest thing is making sure the die doesn't move on me. Run this through. No. Okay. Let me grab a post-it note. These are going to move too much otherwise. Have you guys started your Christmas cards yet? It's one of those things that if you put it off too long, Christmas is on us. So I feel that, you know, it all has to sort of start happening now, or it's a mad rush. And I know some people work really well under stress. For me, I shut down under stress, so if I left everything to the last minute, it wouldn't work for me at all. I've actually been working on getting projects done, so I'm a little bit ahead. Heading to the US in 9 weeks, and we're away for 3 weeks. And I really want to get everything sort of sorted, filmed, all my blog posts done, and that before October sort of comes. So we leave on the 12th of October. And yeah, that's my goal, is to have it all filmed and blog posts done, all projects done. So you guys all still have great inspiration while I'm away, and I don't have to stress. And maybe even do 1 week of me getting back. I think I'll have to do that anyway, because on stage, so Stampin' Up has a demonstrator event. We get back on a Saturday, and then the following Saturday is on stage. So I plan to go to Sydney for that one. So I'll have to be a little bit more, probably 4 weeks ahead rather than 3. So that's super exciting. Okay, so we have our 2 die cuts there. I can get rid of my little mini machine. And the mini machine is great. It won't die cut all dies just because of the size, but if you're doing little die cuts, the little mini machine is awesome because it doesn't take up quite so much room. And Riley's just gone out to the shop, so give me a second, I'll let him back through. That's alright. Come on.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Close the gate.
So my craft room's right next to the shop, and she likes to go out and have a look out the front when people are picking up their papers, but she gets caught. Alright, so we have those pieces. Let's bring back in our image that we ink blended, and then I just want to do a quick, maybe a little bit of a slight drawing of my snowbanks. I want to keep it at that 2-inch mark in a couple of spots, so at the very beginning, around the middle there, and then down like that. I think that'll be fine, and we can just use our scissors to cut that. It's a pretty funky snowbank there. You might already have a die that has a snowbank on it, so use what you have. But you can just do a quick cut yourself. Right. Got a little bit of pencil there, so I'm just going to grab my eraser out and get rid of that. Yes, Marion, we're going to on stage. I'm so excited. 3 years was the last one, so it'd be nice to be able to reconnect with everyone again. So if you're not a demonstrator and it sounds fun, you can purchase the starter kit right now. Registration for On Stage starts Tuesday, so you sign up and get your starter kit. You can also do that on Tuesday and not miss out. So, sounds good to me. All right. So I'm also going to mark on my ink blending, just lightly, where the snowbank goes, so we know where to stick our trees. So we can still see our trees coming out over the snowbank. So it's really light. I can see that though. I'm going to grab my trees out of Trees for Sale. And there's a few different trees that are in this set. I want to use the detailed ones because I think they look really great in that background. Do a really small one. And then this one here. And we're going to do some heat embossing with these ones. So I'm using black embossing powder from the Basics embossing powder group. Actually going to do the large one first. And what I might do is I might just hit it with the heat tool. Because we've added water and there's ink, a lot of ink blending there. It could still be wet, so when I add my when I add my powder down, that could stick. So I'm going to hit it with the heat tool just to make sure, and then I'll go over with the embossing buddy, and that should make sure that everything will be fine. That's one big star, this one here. So you can't really see the white ink that I've splattered on there. You can a little bit, but it's not completely noticeable. I think the water makes great stars. Just going to hit the other side. That's good. Let's get the embossing buddy out. Hopefully that's going to protect it enough that we're not going to have any issues. So one last one of the large one. I'm going to bring my black powder in. I like to make sure that I do, when I'm putting two stamps together so close, I want to make sure that I've got good placement. Best way to do that is to heat emboss the ones that you've already embossed before you move on to the next one. Need to put another pot in here, I think. Okay. There's a couple of spots there. Just going to get rid of that. And we can heat this up. I was so happy when Stampin' Up! Brought the black embossing powder back in. It is one of my favourites. So the powder melts super quick, doesn't take very long, gives you that nice glossy finish. See this one here, I actually stamped this one down and some of the paper come up with it, so anyway. So there are 4 trees there. Let's bring the little one in and add a couple more. That should do. And you can add as many as you like. Once again, I've just got a couple of stray pieces. Get rid of those ones. Oh, Glendy, you're so right. It could be the moon. Great thinking. So I've actually done more trees in this one than in my sample, but please yourself how many you do. While we have our heat tool nice and well heated, let's bring our snowbank in and we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is "You Light Up the Season." That is from the Trees for Sale stamp set. So I'm going to grab that one out. A little bit of soft suede on that one. Let's get rid of that so we don't make a mess. And Hit that with the Versamark. And we're adding the gold in. We've got the gold foil on the caravan or the camper, whatever you would like to call it. Now, if you don't use the catalogue or case the catalogue very often, highly recommend looking into it, because Stampin' Up have wonderful concept artists that work on our catalogues all through the year. Projects, as you can see in the catalogue, it sells products. Like I said, for me, this card in the catalogue sold that die set. So take their ideas, use their ideas, and even if you're using colour schemes or their layout, there's so many ways that you can use the catalogue as your ideas book. In fact, I think Stampin' Up, before I joined Stampin' Up, they used to call it an ideas book. Okay. So we have our sentiment done, which is awesome. I've got my lights and pole. Now let's bring in the caravan and we can pop the caravan together. So it's real red caravan. We've got some gold detail that we're going to just glue on. I'm just using liquid glue. Nothing says Christmas like golden red. I'm also going to, I've die cut for the tire in basic black. I'm just cutting that tire piece off. We can glue that down. And I didn't notice before, but because I've used scraps for this is a really great card for scraps. I didn't even fully die cut my wheel. He had a puncher. That's all right. We're going to add a black wheel. So we're doing a bit of paper piercing, which is a great technique. To add the elements down. The top bit of that gold foil for the caravan. My glue's almost empty because it's oozing out everywhere. Might grab another one and end up with glue everywhere. We're going to add 3 of these little banners onto the window. I'm not really sure, in the catalogue it's not these banners. They use like a rounded piece, and I'm not sure what they've used for that. There's no die that's rounded. Oh, actually it could have been this one here. I just saw the little details in there. Anyway, I've used the banners. That'll be fine. You don't have to do everything completely the same. I'm gonna add that to my window. This is So Saffron. There we go. I'm just going to turn our caravan over. I'm going to bring some tear and tape in. I found this was just the easiest to do. I'm just going to add a strip of tear and tape onto the caravan, and then we can add these details in. yellow window. So the light's on inside the caravan. And that sits in perfect. We're going to add our wreath, and this is garden green. I've got a pool party ribbon or bow. There we go. Add the pool party piece, and then I've also got a piece of soft suede. So I've used a ton of scraps from my scrap bin. This card's really good for scraps. Very economical. You're using those pieces that you probably would have thrown out normally. So I'm just going to cut off where it meets the edge of the caravan. So this is the soft suede to bring all the colours in together. Add a little bit of glue. How cute is that? So really quite easy once you've done all your die cutting of your pieces. That probably takes up the most amount of time, but it's not hard either. Okay, so we can start assembling our card. I'm going to add our snowbank down, and I'm just going to use some liquid adhesive for that. We are popping up the caravan, so don't worry, there is pop up there. My blue fingers. Yeah, no, they're good, Marion. It's not too bad. Okay. I'm going to get rid of just this top bit of paper. I've got a little bit of glue there. It's going to get caught on my card. Now I just want to make sure that I've got my placement for my poles, and we're going to cut these down a little bit, so I'm going to work out where they're going, where we want to cut them off at. This one's going to be covered by the caravan, so that won't matter too much. This one here about there. I just want to make sure I've got decent placement, that the lights are going to reach. And this one we're going to cut down a little bit as well at the end. Right, I think that's good. Rachel says she's back. She made breakfast and coffee. Oh, your youngest has COVID. Oh, you've keeping him to his wing of the house. Good idea. You're just delivering food. You are a good mum. What did you make for breakfast? Did you make pancakes, bacon and eggs? You're going to make me hungry. Alright, so we're going to glue down our poles, and I'm just going to stick an acrylic block over the top. That will keep it in place. This morning would be a good morning for bacon and eggs, I think. So there's a little bit in this card. You're probably not going to do it as a main Christmas card. This is for a very special friend or family member, I think. But that's okay. We all have those special ones that we like to make for.
just want to make sure that I've got good placement for my caravan as well. Yep. So as you can see, a lot of those trees you're not really seeing because the caravan is hiding them a little bit, but that's fine. Oop. It's the only problem working with the liquid glue for me, I get it stuck on my fingers. Stick that one down. I'm going to cut the end off this side and then work out the end of this light will get me to the end. Yep. Perfect. All right. Last little bit now. I'm going to grab some dimensionals and I want to take this backing off. I find that when I'm putting dimensionals down, it doesn't stick too well to the back of our tear and tape. So if I pull that up, I won't have any problem sticking my dimensionals down. Just out of interest, guys, how many of you guys have this die set and the stamp set? Because to me, as soon as I saw it, I knew this was the one I had to have. Out of all the celebration items, this was the had to have. And I never went caravanning, so it's not nostalgic for me or anything like that. It's just makes a cute Christmas card, because I think a lot of people do go caravanning at Christmas. There we go. So cute. So a little bit more detailed card today. It took a little bit longer, sorry everyone. But I do appreciate everyone sticking with me. So let me bring that up a little bit closer and show you. So it's really great with that inked backing or the blending in the background. You've got the nice clean white snowbank where the caravan is sitting on, and you've got that shimmer from the gold foil and just the white flicking of the water and the glistening of the black embossed trees. I think that really sets it off as well. Because I have heat embossed it, the card is a little bit warped, but it can go back into the shape if you add a little bit of weight down on it just for a little while. The other way of making sure that that doesn't happen is you use a piece of thick basic white and you do your inking and all that on it, and then you just attach it to your card base. That will give it that extra stability as well. So a few things to get around with. I didn't have that issue with my first sample card, so I didn't worry about it, but I've got a little bit more warping in there. I could probably hit it with the heat tool again as well, and that would probably help as well. All right. Oh, thank you, everyone. Jeanette says she doesn't have it yet. Well, hopefully I've enabled you. Oh, thank you, everyone. Yeah, and this is not my design, everyone. This is from the catalogue, the celebration catalogue. So use your catalogue as your ideas. You can case completely from the catalogue or take some of the elements or designs. So go and do that. This week's challenge is all about casing the catalogue. So hopefully I've inspired you enough to make you join in this week. I'd love to see all of you guys join in. Rachel says bacon, eggs and spinach. Tried the brisket bacon from the older son's butcher. Brisket bacon. I haven't heard of that, but that sounds really nice. Where's your tomato? Gotta have tomato. Rachel doesn't have it. Well, hopefully I can change your change your mind, Rachel. It's I think a really great one for your Christmas cards. So, and it's a free set, so I think it's a no-brainer. Hi Judith, how are you? So much detail, thank you. Hi Carol, how are you? You have the dies but haven't used them yet. Oh, please get them out and use them. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that, Rachel, it's not sold out, is it? I didn't check before I come on. The only one that I've seen that's sold out is the pool party and soft seafoam note cards. I haven't seen anything else sold out yet. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Yeah, so if you would like to join in this week's challenge, please do. I'll have a post over on my Facebook page. It'll be pinned to the top. All you need to do is take a photo of your project, pop it in the comments there, and let everyone see everything that you're having. There is more information over my blog, so go and check that out. That is linked to the description of this video. And if you're in need of any of the supplies that I've used on today's card, or any other card that you're needing to create, you can purchase them in my online store. Use this hostess code for this month. I have a wonderful special. I'll give you a handmade card as well as a bundle tutorial. And anyone who purchases $100 or more this month will go in the draw to win one of our free celebration items. Well, actually there's two here. I'm giving away the Hippest Hippos stamp set as well as the Hippo dies. So by spending $100, you'll go in the draw. I don't have a ton of orders every single month, so there's a good chance if you place a $100 order, there's a good chance that you'll be getting these as your gift. So on top of everything else. All right. Oh, Rachel's going to order now. That's awesome. Yeah, overseas might have sold out. Tree lot dies, yes. That's exactly right. And they go with the Trees for Sale stamp set that's in the mini catalogue. All right, everyone, have a wonderful Sunday. I hope whatever you're doing today that you have a really great time. I'll be back next Thursday at 5, so come back and join me for then. Until then, enjoy your day and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for the thumbs up, everyone. I appreciate that. Bye-bye.